Hi, my name's David. I'm a photographer and I recently completed the full-time photography business course that can be found at StudyPhotography.Online, and I just wanted to share my experiences doing that, so maybe it will help you make a decision if it's right for you too. I found it to be a really well-rounded course. It's one of these courses where it's really good for beginners through to intermediate, and there's some really good tips in there, perhaps even for experts if they want to fill some gaps and get some tips. So I've been involved in photography for over a decade, and more recently getting more serious about it, but I've always been involved in doing street photography, travel photography, landscape, stargazing, less so much people, but just recently starting to dabble in product photography. And with product photography being the newest one in my arsenal, I was really curious to see what a course like this could do for improving my skills and see if it could fill any gaps, maybe teach me something that I didn't know I needed to know. And I can say that this course really delivered in that way. But the course doesn't just talk about product photography, it talks about a variety of things. In the start, it goes through some basics, and that basics part is really good actually. It even helped smooth out my knowledge and helped me to clarify some of the basic ideas in an even clearer way, which I thought was really good. There's a section on headshots and profiles, really good for corporate photography. Now, I'm not particularly interested in this part, but it was really fascinating for me, and I can see how useful it is for people who want to do this photography and use it as a staple in their business to generate income. It's made me think about perhaps doing the same because I can see how useful it is for everybody. And having it as a complement in my mix. And so this has been really interesting to see the practical skills and seeing him shoot in studio and on site, and the way he interacts with people and the clients, which is really helpful for people starting out. Something that really helped with this part of the training was that it helped, I guess, me as a learner and perhaps everyone else who's done the training to feel like they're in that space. Being able to see them shoot in those spaces kind of gives you that sense of proximity and helps you to visualize what it would be like to work in those spaces. So while that may not have been the principal focus, it certainly comes across that way. It gives that chance to really feel like, if I'm here, what would I do? And so you can translate that into your own business and your own shooting style. Now, I've done plenty of nightscapes and light trails and landscapes, and so this part of the course was really interesting for me still. I particularly appreciated the attention it gave to using filters, measuring light, and really something that I really hadn't done before was learning how to use the photos we take and using Photoshop to layer and take basically a good shot and make it great. And that I can think of a lot of photos I can dig up and redo now because I was unfamiliar with that technique. So I'm guessing I'm getting to repurpose a lot of material, and I'll be taking new shots with new perspective. Then there's a real bulk part of the program on product photography, and I really love this part. I currently have clients that pay me to look after their product photography, and I know a fair bit about it. I think I do a good job, but Eddie is on another level, and his knowledge just was able to help fill gaps. I think most importantly for me, what the course presented was being able to see the different techniques and the shortcuts and the time-saving things that I was not doing and will introduce straight into my workflow. And so for anybody wanting to do product photography, this is a really, really good course that just gets you to think about the variables you need to consider in your setup, to think about the way that light works around different products and textures, and to consider the way that you deliver those images in the long run. Because in the end, it's a business and you want to do it the right way, deliver high and give the client what they want. And I guess Eddie and his team have been able to put something together that's really shows how to do this, I guess, in a premium way. So this product photography part of the course, I think it really refined my existing skills. It helped fill those gaps, and it's definitely going to take my shots to the next level, especially when it comes to using tools correctly to get the right light on those products. Finally, I wanted to talk about the quality of instruction. Now, Eddie's experience, his knowledge, his insight is evident throughout the course, And only someone with real skill in photography, I think, is able to take what could potentially be a complex subject and simplify it and teach it well. And that's really what I found in this course. He doesn't use exhaustive explanations like some courses do. Sure, you've had those experiences. Rather, he's able to hold our attention by using really good illustrations, clear examples, and focusing on the most important and valuable parts of the content so that we're getting value out of it. And so it really does help you to take the information and quickly apply it, to feel like you're remembering it and retaining it. And retention for me is the biggest deal breaker. If I'm not retaining the information from the instructor, I will stop the course. That wasn't the case with Eddie. I found that the tools he gave you, the examples to practice, the fact sheet at the end of each of those courses just meant that you retained what you were learning, and that was extremely useful. So I can't recommend highly enough that you give it a try. If you're looking to elevate your photography skills in the area of landscapes, product photography, or doing portfolio or corporate type of shots, and this is a really, really good course to take on board, and it's going to give you some skills in business as well, or some advice and direction that could save you a lot of time, energy and money. So I highly recommend it. If you can get into it, you're really going to enjoy the experience.